just brushing up on my blues rock. It is Monday, June 12th, 2017, and it's time for your weekly video. So this weekend, I didn't do any record shopping at all. I think as some of you know through following some of my videos, I have been, I moved, and I've yet to unpack all my records well over a year later. Sorry, it is extremely hot today here in the Berg. So over the weekend, I basically went through and was going through and sorting through records. And one little thing I've been working on is I basically have been going through and looking at, watching some of my old videos, seeing what records I've posted or shown, and I've just kind of gone through and put some records aside that I know that I haven't shown, and I'll just kind of talk about those on the days that I don't have any new records to show. So this will be probably a quick one. We're going to try to do this under 10 minutes. Cheers. I love when everybody does that. So I think as some of these I may have shown already, so I just have 5 records here. Figured I'd talk about them real quick. Things that I would highly recommend. Please put them on your want list. You will not be disappointed. So some of these will probably be familiar to some folks. So some of these I've just sort of been spinning. I pulled them up from out of the boxes and what have you. And as I've been organizing, I've been listening to them here and there. John Fahey, Volume 1, Blind Joe Death. So this is actually the Blind Joe Death album, which, if you're familiar with John Fahey and his sort of what he referred to as American primitive, it's acoustic music, instrumental music, alternate tunings, things like that. And his very first album, basically, I think it was only pressed to maybe 100 copies. He went and sort of took them to a thrift store and just sort of put them in, and that's kind of the way that the first one sold. So if you have one of those first albums, obviously they're worth ridiculous money. But this is just a great album. Probably one of my favorite John Fahey albums. It's, that sound of acoustic music. I believe this came out in 1967 originally. This is some, I don't know, I would say early 70s press. I'm not sure offhand. I didn't look it up. So, yeah, pick that up if you haven't. It's a great album. Here's another one, and I hate showing these because every time I show them, I just know that, they get harder and harder to find on eBay. But I have them, almost all of them now, so it's all good. But Los Apsons, this is Satisfaction. So they were from Mexico. You can tell these are the original Blake sleeves, the ones that squeak, right? But this is probably, if you were going to try to buy this on eBay, it's probably about $80 or so now these days. But so they sort of did covers where they would change the lyrics, but this is probably their sort of heaviest, most garage-sounding one. Satisfaction's on there. For Your Love, obviously, by the Yardbirds. Bring It On Home to Me. Seventh Son is on there. Dizzy Miss Lizzie. So, yeah, great tunes. Probably one of my favorites Los Apson albums. Here's another one. It's just I saw this in the box and I just was like, okay, I gotta listen to this. So, this is A Long Time Coming by the Electric Flag. So, of course, Mike Bloomfield, as well as Harvey Brooks and Buddy Miles and Nick Gravenitis. So all those sort of dudes that were in that Paul Butterfield sort of scene of sorts kind of broke off and did their own thing. There's Harvey Brooks, of course. He plays on, did session stuff with Dylan, as did Mike Bloomfield. And Harvey Brooks plays on Bitches Brew. But it's just a great album. It's sort of, Al Cooper and Mike Bloomfield both had the idea to basically do a horn rock album. So, bands like Chicago and things like that really, kind of took that to the next level. in the early 70s and things like that. These guys were doing that there at the end of the 60s. But really only about 2 albums was all they released. Of the original lineup, they released an album in 74, which I don't think has Mike Bloomfield on it. But this is an essential, so definitely pick this up if you haven't already. And the last 2, this one is this is great. If you ever get a chance to see this or find this, pick it up. So this is the Equals, but this is the American sort of. This is sort of like the only record that was released in the United States. At the time when the Equals were basically together, and it's Baby Come Back, of course, was their like big hit. Not Baby Come Back like Player, but. This is another one. It's just a superb album. It sort of sounds like the Dave D, Dozy, Beaky, Mick, and Titch, sort of like that, like real like pounding, drum sound with like the really heavy bass. And of course Eddie Grant was in it. Electric Avenue. So he sort of went on to do that kind of thing. But this is a great album. So it kind of is like a compilation. It's almost like a greatest hits album, truthfully. Compiling stuff from their first 3 albums. So this is on the RCA. This is in RCA's 4000 series. So the very, very end of the 3000 series and 4000 series. There's some fantastic, kind of pop, psychedelic and late 60s music. This one came out in 68. So Police on My Back, of course, was covered by The Clash on the Sandinista album. So this is a really cool album. So this is one you just can't play loud enough. Like you just keep turning it up over and over and over. And the last one for you. So sorry, this is country, blah blah blah. Go ahead and unsubscribe. But this is Ray Price, "The Nightlife," which was a Willie Nelson song. And if you're playing at home, got the nudie suit on there, so seal of approval. This is just a really cool album. It kind of like fits in, like if you like Tom Waits, like Nighthawks at the Diner. It's sort of like it's a narrative of sort of just all these songs about the nightlife. So it's really cool. It definitely is like sort of a concept album of sorts, and it's real short. And Ray Price is this is definitely his big one. So if you ever see this, and you will, I promise, you will see this, pick this up. So this is a great one. So that's all I have for you. 5 albums, very quick. A little bit of lemon blend. Hope you have a great week, and we'll see you back here next Monday. So see you on down the trail.